Hey everyone, Kevin here. I have a few urgent updates for you regarding the EIDL, that's the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan Grant, that free $10,000 we keep hearing about, and the PPP. That's the Payroll Protection Program. The SBA just released this within the last hour or so here. The SBA released an update to both of these programs, and I want to read you some of these updates and then also try to explain some of those that might be creating confusion. Well, let's get into that. Before I read this update to you from the SBA, let me give you a quick little catch up. The PPP is the Payroll Protection Program. That's where you can borrow up to $10 million, and as long as you spend it on qualified things like payroll expenses, sick pay, vacation pay, business debts. Basically, as long as you keep people employed, you keep your business open, that up to $10 million would be forgivable. And in order to get this $10 million, you would go to an SBA approved lender. This would be like Chase or Wells Fargo or Bank of America, although a lot of these lenders are getting so inundated that I don't even know they can take more applications right now. I'll put a link down below for the SBA Loan Finder so you can find a lender who does this if you have a small business. Now, I believe sole proprietors can apply for this starting April 10th, and other small businesses in most areas can start applying today, which is April 6th. It was supposed to be the 3rd, but most lenders had delayed that to the 6th. That's today. So get in line for your PPP money. That's forgivable money. The Express Bridge loan we kind of see reference to is, to me, I honestly don't know how many people are going to find this worthwhile, like worth the effort going through. But anyway, it's basically a bridge loan of, I believe, $20,000 to $25,000. And the theory is that when you take this money, you could pay it back once you actually get approved for your EIDL loan, which I'll talk about the free $10,000 part in just a second. But the EIDL loan is a loan that you can get up to $2 million. But the problem with the EIDL loan is it's not forgivable like the PPP is, which kind of makes the EIDL loan portion not that exciting, which also means this Express Bridge loan's not that exciting. So pretty much, to me, this option here is boring. The EIDL loan is boring with the exception, I'll put a little asterisk there, of the free $10,000, which I'm gonna explain that because there are some updates and controversies regarding this, and the SBA just released some more updates. So, PPP, good. You have a business, independent contractor, sole proprietor, side hustle, good. Express Bridge loan, meh, don't really see it. I like forgivable money. That's basically free money if you keep your business going. The EIDL, loan part, not so great because it's not forgivable. Free $10,000, good. But let's talk about the problems with this. Now let's hit the update, and that's where the problems come up as well. All right, here's the update directly from the SBA. It's a form they just released today, April 6th. I'll link it down below. It'll be right below the link for your 2 free stocks with Webull, the coupon code for my investment program so you can learn how to make money after all this stuff blows over and you can go buy some cheap below market value real estate. Okay, all that said. All right, so the letter starts off right here with the 3 things that I already talked about, but let's go right here to frequently asked questions. If I'm applying or already received the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, which that's that $10,000 grant part, is my small business eligible to participate in the Paycheck Protection Program? And the answer to that is yes, you can apply for both the EIDL and the Paycheck Protection Program. However, the PPP loan funds and the EIDL funds can't be used for the same purpose. Here's my interpretation of this. Let's say you get the EIDL grant and you get a loan of, let's say, $25,000 with the EIDL. They advance you the $10,000 and you have an extra $15,000 to spend. You spend all of that combined $25,000 to pay your wages for your first employee. That's paid. That's now used up. You can't double dip and get the PPP to pay the same $25,000 over here. Then it wouldn't be forgivable. But now if you had $25,000 in material that you were gonna spend money on that was approved, that would be okay. So you can apply for both. You just have to make sure you're allocating the money and not double dipping. Basically, as long as you're not trying to screw the government, I think you're okay with both here. Obviously, this is all very fluid and constantly updating. The PPP loan must be used for payroll, a minimum of 75% of the funds received. See, that I don't believe is in the bill either. I don't believe that the bill says the PPP requires that 75% of the money you get goes to payroll, because it has sections for other expenses, rent, materials. So that's really interesting to me that they're adding these sort of overlays. Honestly, the SBA's kind of going on making their own rules here, and it's pissing off a lot of people. This is something that I would say, if you wanted to fight something, this is something that I would consider fighting right here, because this is frustrating, especially since they're saying for it to be eligible for a forgivable loan. Very frustrating. Borrowers who accept both loan funds should document the uses of the funds appropriately. That makes sense. That sounds reasonable to me. If your economic injury loan was used for payroll costs, your PPP loan must be used to refinance your EIDL loan. So that's interesting. They're basically saying, all right, so going back to this example, let's say you only had $25,000 in wages, number one over here, to pay, and you paid those $25,000 in wages, taking out that EIDL loan of $25,000, $10,000 of which in theory you're supposed to be getting advanced, the other 15 coming later. If you got this loan, you paid your $25,000 in wages, and then you got your PPP and you didn't have other things to spend it on, the only thing you were gonna spend it on was that $25,000, but let's say now you got $50,000 with the PPP, you can go ahead and refinance that, pay that 25 off. Again, they're trying to prevent double dipping here, which right now they seem to be preventing even single dipping because they don't seem capable of getting this EIDL squared away appropriately. Okay, then they give you an example here, which, by the way, not to add more confusion, but if you have not yet heard of the employee retention credit, you might also want to check with this, the Treasury-approved and employee retention credit, which basically allows you to pretty much cover $5,000 of your out-of-pocket expenses. You get a $5,000 tax credit, essentially. But look into the employee retention credit and you can get some more details on this as long as you're still employing people, and you have to make adjustments with your CPA to actually realize this $5,000. Moving down the list, if you're applying for both, you can accept the PPP first, then decide whether or not you want to close on your EIDL. That's fine. And remember, people want their $10,000, except this is very interesting. They're saying here that they're going to start distributing the advances this week, but they're only allowing you to get $1,000 per employee up to $10,000 max, except we all know that's not what the law says. The law says, well, you know what? Let's just pull up the bill. Now, I've gone through this bill ad nauseum in this other video, but we just want to remind you here, section 1110, emergency EIDL grants. And if we just simply scroll down, and I'm not trying to be cavalier here, but the wording here is very different from what they're saying. The amount of an advance provided under this subsection shall not be more than $10,000. Shall not be more than $10,000 is different than up to $10,000, because the bill implies, hey, look, if I only need $2,000, I can ask for $2,000. The SBA is going, well, we think that text somehow means $1,000 per employee. But again, that's obviously not what the bill says. Maybe if they came out with some clarity, they'd stop getting so much hate, but I think they're really pissing people off because they're giving misinformation. It's nice to know that the money's gonna start flowing this week, which probably means Thursday or Friday, for all we know, but all right, let's just go through the rest of the updates. Now, very, very important, they say if you did not apply through the streamlined process, which started last week, you need to reapply, which means if you went through that drop box that they originally had a week ago or 10 days ago, they want you to reapply. They say that you're not going to lose your place in line, but when the government says, hey, SBA, give people not more than $10,000 grants, and the SBA goes, I think that means we can give people $1,000 per employee. You can't really trust what they're saying. So I highly encourage you to reapply at that website ASAP. So if you have not yet gone to this website right here, covid19relief.sba.gov, do that ASAP. I'll link it again down below, down for convenience. EIDL loans will not require a personal guarantee for loans under $200,000 and won't require collateral under $500K. I honestly don't think anybody cares because people care about their $10,000 grants, and then everybody's gonna get the PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, which is right here highlighted. This is the program we wanna talk about. So, but folks, tweet the SBA and tweet your senators, because look at this crap. Look at this stupid, insensitive tweet. Like, come on, SBA, get your act together and at least reference the law where what you're doing is acceptable. They go, frustration out there is understandable. Man, this is like sarcastic. Rome wasn't built in a day. Systems need to get balanced first. We get that. At least give people clarity while you build the systems, though. This week, EIDL loan advances will start being distributed. Applicants will get $1K per employee and up to $10K max. Sole props should get $1K. Come on, folks, where is that in the law? The good news, though, is the Federal Reserve did come out, and seconds before I started this video, they tweeted the Federal Reserve will establish the facility to facilitate lending. A facility to facilitate, okay. Lending to small businesses via SBA's PPP. So good, good, good. All right, folks, there you have it. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.